Leo, hope you've been well. I'm going to do your reading for this Leo full moon. See what we got coming out for the Leo collective. So I'll go get started. So oracle cards for Leo. Here we go. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising. All right. All right. So that was on one card. Got two cards. So we got finding love, protection, success, and castaway negativity. This castaway negativity was also in the collective reading. So along the same lines, right? When this card comes out, it could be casting away, evil eye type stuff, right? People just, being haters and talking about you, whatever. But most of the time, it's casting away like self-doubt, and or casting away comments or hater energy that people like direct towards you, right? It could be like, people telling you stuff that just to keep you stuck and bogged down, and that's a negative that needs to be cast away. Don't listen to other people's ideas or other people's comments. Use your own internal guidance, right? Your own internal, like your own thoughts, right? I mean, people can say what they want, but don't need to listen to them, right? Success with the star, right? With the success card, though, right? Do you see I'm not sure if you can see it or not. The flower is growing. Is starting to come up above ground. Yeah, the success for what you've been planning, what seeds you planted, what goals that you have started, right? Those things are coming through for you, Leo. And I do feel this Leo new moon or Leo full moon is going to be quite the catalyst for that, because there's a lot of energy of let's get this done, let's get this started, let's start doing those things that we keep having, myself included, right? Things that in the back of my mind that I wanted to get started, and it's kind of drug my feet with it, and then all of a sudden, like, there's been this spark the last couple of days. So lots of things been kind of showing up that way, where this Leo energy, and it kind of really reminds me of the Lionsgate energy, right? Like, it's time to like generate that energy and get those gears moving, get those things moving towards what we foresee ourselves doing, what we foresee ourselves manifesting in those goals that we're trying to reach. Okay. And along with castaway negativity, right? This protection card, it very much could be, protecting yourself from person, place, or things, right? But it's protecting your energy. It's protecting what is important to Leo. No other people need to comment or apply, is that kind of thing, right? Hey, I know what I'm doing. I know where I want to go. I know what direction I want to go in. So I don't need anyone else's comments except for my own internal guidance. And if I fail, then I fail myself, right? That's the kind of energy, Leo, that this protection and the castaway negativity is pointing you towards, because your success has already started, right? And it's just like, when people see success, they kind of want to start turning it down. Not everybody, right? But in many instances, that could be, some of the things. And even if it's, even if they, let's say they don't mean it, right? Or I want to put this, let's say it's out of like out of concern, hey, you've been working, 60 hours a week. I'm concerned about your health or whatever. That could be very genuine, but it's still casting that doubt on your goals. Maybe you want to work 60 hours a week because this success requires it. So take it as it resonates, Leo. But your success is going to be kind of like hindering on keeping those negative doubts and negative comments and those kind of things at bay. Okay. And then we got finding love, right? Maybe that's one of your goals that you've been kind of like keeping to yourself, right? I want to find love. I want to find a partner in whatever, right? Relationship or business or whatever the case is, right? So with this finding love coming out, to me is very relatable to the Two of Cups. So those things may show up. I would say this also, though, Leo. finding that in this Leo full moon energy, I want to say be careful, but just recognize things for what it is. Okay. Don't put all the eggs in the basket. I'm not sure why that's coming through, but it did. So, I feel like kind of obligated to say it, right? So, when I do readings, I channel and I get messages. I hear words, those kind of things, names. So that's what came through, Leo. Find the love, but then don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Okay. All right. So for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, for this Leo full moon, the energy has been really active, right? I've been, and I'm sure many of us kind of trying to get things going. Not trying to get things going. Things are going. Almost like I don't want to rest because I have this energy to just like jump into things, both feet, and let's get it going, right? So Leo, this reading's about this Four of Swords in reverse. And Four of Swords, like I just said, right, get things going. Four of Swords is rest time is over. There's been enough contemplation. There's been enough, mulling things over. There's been enough internal dialogue, enough introspection, and rest time is over. So now it's time to get to work, right? The challenge of that is Ten of Cups. And this Ten of Cups. Sorry, guys. This Ten of Cups is in the upright. So this could be a. Put that on vibrate. This could be. It's like a counter to work, right? It's like, hey, like it's time to get to work. I rested enough, but now this contentment comes in, and it's almost like countering the movement, right? Because, for instance, say your goals have finally come online because you've done enough internal work, and now things are starting to move. But now the family's like, hey, let's go on vacation, let's hang out, let's let's go fishing, or whatever the case is, right? It's impeding the movement. It's not stopping it, and it's not a bad thing. But it's the challenge card is always that counter, right? Is always that small obstacle that may keep you from fully step into what needs to be done, right? Ten of Cups is happy family. It's contentment. It's like things may not be 100% how you want it, but you're content. Home is fine, money's fine, job's fine, the dogs are fine, but it's just like that contentment though, it almost stops the movement because you are so content. Okay. So Leo, don't get in an energy of getting too comfortable because I want to say family or friends or a good situation is there, right? You still got to keep moving. You can hang out one day, but I can't hang out with you all week. I can spend a couple hours here, but then the next, the rest of the 8 hours or 6 hours, I got to get to work. I got to keep moving. Okay. Be aware of this challenge showing up as someone who means well, or some people who means well, or a situation that's not a bad situation. It may just like slow the progress. Okay. In the past, Leo, we got the Ace of Wands in reverse. In the future, we get the Three of Swords also in reverse. Ace of Wands in the past in reverse, there might have been something of not having that connection to creativity, not have that connection, that vitality, that vital energy to like, I want to do X, Y, Z, and that's what I'm going to do. All right. Because when the Ace, they can create anything with the Ace of Wands, right? Have that magic wand, but it's vital energy. Lots of vitality. And when I say vitality in this sense, I'm not talking about like, let's say sexual vitality. I'm talking about like the life and spirit of getting things done, of creating what you want. Okay. And in the past, there's an issue with that. And I always say if an ace is in reverse, there's something that was blocking you, right? Maybe there was a tower that needed to happen. Maybe There's a hangman that needed that needed to slow you down because of the hangman. You kind of grow where you are. So there might have been that kind of energy that was kind of stuck in the past, right? And then doing the work with the Four of Wands or Four Sword in reverse, doing the work and getting past that. Okay, now it's time. Now it's time to, like, engage in, the rubber meets the road kind of thing. However, though, in the future we have the Three of Swords, so we're doing some healing, right? And that might have been part of the introspection with the Four Sword, and Three of Swords will also stop things from moving because we can't take that baggage with us. We can't take that heartache with us. And it's almost like a judgment call, right? In order to heal, we have to bring those things back up in the present, in our mind, and in our in our emotions, and then heal from that. But the work's being done again in the future with the Three of Swords. Like, healing is taking place. Okay. And I mean, is that why this final love is here, Leo? I'm just saying, Anyways, what's working in your favor, Leo, is King of Discs or King of Pentacles. High creator, right? Someone who's business minded, someone who could already, very stable, very, very business oriented, right? A lot of times when Pentacles or this show up for me is like high stability. In this case, though, Spirit is advising this King of Discs that we either engage with this King of Discs or we embody that energy, right? I feel like this is someone else that's coming into the picture in a position where this is what Spirit advises. But because, you're mostly King of Wand energy, Leo, this King of Discs, I mean, we always embody different energies, right? And there's no gender in tarot. But I feel this King of Discs is someone else to collaborate with. Because, I mean, you're clearing space, right? You're clearing space for this king to come in. Again, just be aware of this Ten of Cups that's going to try to slow things down only because they want that content feeling, right? Nothing malicious, right? What's working against you, Leo, is a Magician. Interesting. In this position, right? Because the Magician is such a great card, but in this position, there could be something of be careful what you think about, Leo. Be careful with your words. Be careful with your thoughts, right? Because I feel that in this situation, your thoughts are creating things that you may not intend. Okay, your thoughts are your thoughts are like moving things. I mean, I can picture like a wow. It looks like a map, but there's chess pieces in it, and like you think of something, and the pieces start to move. That may not be your intent, and you may be kind of like not slowing your growth, but you may be kind of like putting things where you didn't mean them to be. Putting quote unquote chess pieces or ideas or whatever. Think about it. Think about all this in like a future sense, right? I want to do this and this because in 5 years I want to be here, or 10 years I want to move here. 10 years I want to have a business, something like that, right? But your unintentional thoughts, and you're manifesting those, so that might throw a wrench in some of those plans because you're I mean, especially with this Leo moon, there's a high manifestation energy in this full moon. So yeah, this full moon, I mean, you could be actively right now thinking of things, and you're shifting pieces that you don't intend to do. So be very wary of your thoughts and your actions and what you speak, Leo. Okay, because you're already clearing things out. We don't want to go back to that Four Sword again because you're already doing some clearing. Again, just be aware, right? So on the bottom of that, we get the Two Wands that's in reverse, but and there could be something with a plan, that needs to be either reworked, Leo, or there's something with the plan that needs to be changed, right? Two Wands is being strategic, right, and planning. If it's in reverse, there's something wrong with the plan. There's something that needs to be like looked at. but maybe this King of this can help you with that, right? So just be aware. All right, Leos, do some clarification, and then we get you guys out of here. So why is this 10 of Cups here? 10 of Cups. Why is 10 of Cups in challenge position, please, for Leo? Queen of Sword sideways. So Queen of Sword, right? Very logical, very light on emotions. But with the Queen of Swords, though, right? She always brings that lesson, right? She's very blunt, but she tells you what you need to know, and she cuts away all the fray that doesn't serve you, right? With this Queen of Swords, though, following the 10 of Cups, I'm asking wives here, and there might be something to learn from. Yeah, it might be something to learn, but it can also be you're dealing with someone who that could be very much like I want, you're trying to get stuff done, after the Four Sword, after you're arrested, because it's time to start doing work. This queen could be someone who's literally like, I said I want to go here, but you're at your computer, like, doing work, it's that kind of thing, right? This person could be very vocal and very stern about being in that content energy. Why you always got to work so much, Leo? Why you always got to be at the office for so late? Well, because I got to get this business deal done, or whatever the case is, right? I'm working towards our future. This queen could be very much, and she came out sideways, right? Because she don't know if she wants to be like the Queen of Sword in reverse, which is not a fun time. Or the Queen of Swords in the upright, just being very much about, I want this, and this is what needs to be done. Sort kind of energy, right? They could be dealing with a Gemini, Leo. So just saying, be aware that 10 of Cups is pretty strong, right? It was strong when it came out, but with this Queen of Swords attached to it, it can be even more of a hindrance. And that's something that you have to navigate, if to get the work done. Magician, please. Magician. All right. Death card in reverse. Yeah, Leo. I mean, Death card in reverse. It can be two things, right? It could be this transformation is always taking place, or someone doesn't want to go through this. This feels like it's already taken place, and almost like you've already transferred over into like this new Leo that needs to do whatever this work is, and it's sort of like you're wide open, right? So now like you are really like manifesting, like you shed all the things that doesn't belong to you, and now you're a brand new Leo, and now your magician powers, all your tools and your toolbox, all the elements, that's all available to you because you went through this process here. But it's working against you because, it's working against you. Because it's almost like it's too much. Almost like you're too activated in a sense, right? Because now what you say happens, what you think happens, what you don't intend to say happens. Be aware that also too, right? It could be, there's something that could be, hold on, Leo, what are you doing? Magician and Death card, please. Magician, Death card, no, that's what cards said. Hold on, Leo. Are you, Leo, are you trying to change, I want to say destiny? It's almost like it's almost like you're challenging the Death card. This Magician here is saying, I'm not going through that. Like, find somebody else. It's almost like you're strong enough, Leo, to actually challenge this transformation, and you're holding this up. Yeah, you're holding it up because and now it's working against you because once the death takes place, now everything opens up. But I get it. We don't want to go through that because you're angry, you're crying, things falls apart. You lose family, friends, you might lose a job, whatever the case is, right? But when you come out, you're a brand new Leo, and you have all the enlightenment to like really get it going, right? Get things moving the way you want it to go. But you, the magician, you're holding up this death process. And it's funny because the Nine of Wands came out on top of that, and there's Nine of Cups in reverse. Like you don't, yeah, you're fighting. You're in combat mode. You're like, I'm not going to that. I want to be this guy, but I'm not going to that. And I don't want to be. I kind of feel that Nine of Cups energy is yours also. It's like I'm not taking, like almost taking no prisoners. Right now, I'm doing this, and that's what I'm gonna do. Don't approach me about anything because Nine of Cups is like I'm not going anywhere. Um, I mean, it could be someone trying to come in, but I don't think that's the case, Leo. I think that's you, not like you're blocking yourself from feeling. You're trying to keep yourself out of the heart space because right now I think you're like, hey, it's all about the business and it's all about getting things moving. Yeah, this Queen and this Ten of Cups is a challenge, but you down here, someone is like, you're like, I don't have time for that death card. I don't have time to go through transformation, so I'm just gonna like sit here and fight and fight and fight and fight. Okay, Leo, you are all right. Three of Swords, please. Three of Swords for Leo. For Wands. Yeah, after we do this healing, Leo, in the future, with the Three of Swords, we get some celebration, some stability, right? Force of stability. But Four of Wands is, it's the marriage card, right? But it's more about achievement. Like, hey, we did this. Excuse me. We achieved something. Like we set a goal and we completed it. Yeah. One more for the King of Discs for Leo. Then we get you guys out of here, Leo. Oh. There's the Two Wands in reverse again. There's something wrong with the plan. And again, this position here is what Spirit advises. Spirit is saying we got to recheck this plan with this King of Disc. And I don't think that is. It doesn't feel that is wrong. It just feels that there's something that's been overlooked or something that's not. I heard not to specification. So there could be something like relying on bad information because of the plan, right? There's no sword here, right? But it almost feels like there's something. There's a little piece of information that's not right. And if you rely on that information for the plan with this King of Disc or King of Pentacles, it may not work out so well. All right, and then we got the Lovers sideways. So the Lovers used to be called the Choice. It used to be called the Choice, right? Gemini card, right? Gemini is two, right? Talk about duality, the twins. You got two here, you got two here. There's a choice that will have to be made on something that you love versus something that's good for you. All right, I'm gonna say it again, Leo. There's something that needs to be a choice that needs to be made between something that you love and something that's good for you, right? And it has to do with business or work or something. And the plan is there's something missing with the plan. The plan is not bad, it's not faulty, but it just needs to be really looked at. And kind of like you do good to go back over the plan and kind of like make sure everything's in there that you thought it was going to be in there. There's something missing. There's something not right with the plan. Okay. All right, Leo. On this Leo full moon, I keep wanting to say new moon for some reason, but this Leo full moon. Please comment if this is your story or if something that you recognize in here. Please like, share, subscribe, and Leo. Be wary of this magician, right? The energy that you're in, because you can't hold a death card off for too long, it's going to derail everything that you're working for. Just let the transformation happen, and quit being so defensive with this 9 to 1. So, but all right, Leo, until next time, take care.